My friend, let me tell you something many people never realize until it is too late. Most of them train their bodies. They condition their muscles. They polish their techniques, but they leave the mind undefended, exposed, and fragile. And when life strikes, not with a punch, but with disappointment, rejection, loss, or fear, they collapse. Not because they are truly weak, but because they never learned how to become strong where strength truly begins. You see, the first battle is never outside of you. These are only reflections of a deeper conflict. The real battlefield is the mind. It is invisible, silent, and constant. And if you do not learn to master this battlefield, my friend, every challenge in life will defeat you before it even arrives. But the most dangerous opponent I ever faced was not in the street. It was the voice inside my head, the one that rushed with fear, with doubt, with impatience. And I discovered something very important. Mental weakness is a choice, and so is mental strength. Today, I want to share with you 11 rules that shaped my life. 11 principles that, if you embrace them, will make you unshakable. These are not ideas from books or theories from philosophers. These are lessons I learned through sweat, pain, silence, and deep reflection. Rule number 1, guard the mind. My friend, everything begins with the mind. Before you throw a punch, you think it. Before you fall into fear, you imagine it. Before you fail, you accept failure internally. This is why I say the mind is the first battlefield, and most people walk into it unarmed. A single weak thought, I'm not ready, I'm not good enough, what if I fail, can multiply until it becomes a storm. And yet, it is only a thought, a tiny whisper. But if you believe that whisper, it grows teeth. You must learn something very important. You are not your thoughts. You are the one who chooses which thoughts stay and which must leave. But because their eyes revealed doubt, they stepped into the ring already defeated by their own imagination. That is the danger of an unguarded mind. If you leave the door to your house open, anyone can enter, friend or enemy. The same is true for the mind. If you allow every thought to enter, you will soon find your inner world crowded with fear, hesitation, and confusion. So guard the mind as you would guard a fortress. Observe every thought. Watch it calmly, like a visitor. So guard the mind as you would guard a fortress. Observe every thought. Watch it calmly, like a visitor. Ask yourself, does this thought strengthen me or weaken me? If it weakens you, release it. If it strengthens you, keep it close. When you practice this, you begin to notice a beautiful truth. The mind becomes clear, empty, light. And in that clarity, you gain tremendous power. The power to choose how you think, how you feel, and how you act. That, my friend, is the beginning of an unshakable mind. Rule number 2, master your emotions. Emotions are like fire. When controlled, fire gives warmth, cooks your food, lights your path. But when the fire grows wild, it burns down everything in its way, including you. Most people live as prisoners of their emotions. Anger makes them explode, fear makes them retreat, sadness makes them surrender, and then they say, I couldn't help it. That's just how I felt. But this is not strength. This is not freedom. This is reaction. A warrior does not live by reaction. He lives by clarity. When someone attacks you in a fight, if you respond blindly with emotion, you lose control of distance, timing, and strategy. But when you remain calm, you can see everything. The angle of their shoulder, the shift of their weight, the intention behind their movement. This calmness does not mean you feel nothing. It means you feel, but you are not ruled by what you feel. You observe emotion the same way you observe a cloud passing in the sky, temporary, moving, changing. There were many moments when frustration boiled inside me. People doubted my vision, questioned my approach. My first instinct was anger, fiery, powerful, immediate. But anger without control is like a punch thrown in darkness. It hits nothing and it weakens you. So I learned the power of the pause. Just one breath. Just one moment of silence before reacting. In that pause, you regain your clarity. Let me tell you this, my friend. Emotion without discipline becomes chaos. Emotion with awareness becomes power. Transform your emotions. This transforms energy. Transform anger into determination. Transform fear into courage. Remember, your emotions are not your enemy. They are raw energy. You must shape them, guide them, and use them with intention. When you master emotion, you master yourself. And when you master yourself, no one can make you weak. Rule number 3. Discipline is more important than motivation. My friend, many people wait for motivation. They wait for inspiration, for the right mood, for some magical burst of energy that will push them into action. But motivation is like the wind. It comes and goes as it pleases. If you depend on the wind to move you, you will drift without direction. Some days my body ached, my mind was tired, or my spirit felt heavy. But I made a promise to myself, a commitment deeper than comfort. I will show up. This is discipline, the ability to act regardless of mood. If you wait to feel ready, you will wait forever. If you wait to feel strong, you will stay weak. If you wait to feel inspired, you will create nothing. A warrior does not live by mood. He lives by mission. You may feel excited, energized, confident. It must come in exhaustion, in uncertainty, in fear. That is discipline, the ability to act in any state. People often say to me, "How do you stay motivated?" And I always laugh gently because they misunderstand. I tell them, I am not motivated, I am disciplined. Motivation is a visitor. Discipline is my home. Discipline does something very powerful. It teaches the mind who is in control. Each time you train when you are tired, each time you study when you are distracted, each time you work when you feel uninspired, you carve a new identity. It is the identity of someone who does not break under pressure, someone who moves forward even when every part of them wants to stop, someone who cannot be controlled by weakness. This is why discipline is freedom, because when you can command yourself, nothing outside of you holds any power. So, my friend, choose discipline. Make the decision once and then honor it every day. Not because it is easy, but because it shapes who you become. Rule number 4. Train often. Identity is built in repetition. Identity is not built in a moment. It is built in repetition. And I smile because they do not yet understand. The purpose of repetition is not to learn the movement, but to become the movement. The mind learns the same way. If every day you choose discipline, you become disciplined. If every day you choose courage, you become courageous. If every day you choose effort, you become unstoppable. Repetition is the sculptor of identity. There were mornings when I had little energy, when my body felt heavy, when my thoughts were scattered. But it is precisely on those mornings, the ones where the voice of comfort whispered, "Rest, skip today, start again tomorrow," that the true battle was fought. That is where strength was forged. Let me tell you something profound. Your actions teach your mind who you are. When you show up, even when tired, you teach your mind, "I am the kind of person who does not quit." When you practice the basics again and again, you teach your mind, "I am building mastery." When you push through discomfort, you teach your mind, I am in control, not my excuses. And the mind listens. It adapts. It reshapes itself around your behavior. Daily training is not only for the body, it is for the spirit. Reading, reflecting, observing yourself, writing your thoughts, sitting in silence. These are also forms of training. They sharpen awareness, deepen understanding, and strengthen resolve. Think of water dripping on stone. 1 drop is nothing. 10 drops are nothing. But thousands, millions, over time the stone changes shape. Your mind is the stone. Your discipline is the water. And repetition is the force that carves a new version of you. Rule number 5. Consistency is more important than intensity. Many people think that greatness is built on intensity, on dramatic bursts of effort. But my friend, let me tell you the truth. Intensity without consistency is useless. 1 day of perfect training means nothing if you disappear for a week. 1 burst of inspiration means nothing if you stop when you lose enthusiasm. 1 powerful moment cannot replace a steady path. I did not arrive at understanding through 1 brilliant idea. No, it came through constant refinement, testing, failing, adjusting, practicing, day after day, year after year. Consistency is not glamorous, but it is transformative. People often say, I don't have time to train for an hour, then train for 10 minutes. They say, I cannot give my full effort today. Then give half effort, but give it. Because even a small step keeps momentum alive. Even imperfect action reinforces your identity. Even 1% progress compels the mind forward. Remember this, you do not need to be perfect. You only need to be present. Being consistent builds a foundation thicker than emotion, thicker than mood, thicker than doubt. Because each time you stay the course, you remind yourself that you are not ruled by resistance. You are not training for easy days, my friend. Easy days require no strength. You are training for storms, for adversity, for heartbreak, for unexpected challenges. These moments will come, and when they do, your consistency will already have prepared you. So let me tell you, if today you can only give a little, give a little. If today you can give a lot, but always give something. When you master consistency, you become reliable to yourself. And when you become reliable to yourself, you become unshakable. Rule number 6, pain is the teacher, the forge, the path. My friend, many people fear pain. They run from it, hide from it, complain about it, curse it. But let me tell you a truth I learned through every injury, every failure, every disappointment. Pain is not your enemy. Pain is your teacher. Pain is universal. No one escapes it. But what separates the strong from the weak is not who suffers, but what they do with their suffering. Most people allow pain to break them. A warrior allows pain to build them. When I injured my back, the pain in my body was sharp, but the pain in my spirit was sharper. And in those difficult months, I had 2 choices, break or grow. So instead of falling into despair, I studied. I questioned everything I believed. I refined my philosophy, deepened my understanding, sharpened my mind, and slowly I realized something extraordinary. Pain is a mirror. It shows you where you are weak. It reveals what must change. Pain does not come to punish you. Pain comes to instruct you. When your muscles burn during training, they are not failing. They are adapting. When your heart aches after a setback, you are not broken. You are expanding your capacity. When you struggle with fear or doubt, you are not lost. You are on the verge of discovering new strength. You see, growth is never comfortable. Comfort is a cage. Pain is the key. Most people avoid pain because they believe it is a sign to stop. But in truth, pain often signals that you are on the right path, the path of transformation. The mind, like the body, strengthens through resistance. Let me give you a simple analogy. When you lift a weight, your muscles tear. Tiny fibers break. And because of that breaking, the muscle grows stronger, thicker, more capable. The mind works the same way. Difficult moments tear you, so you can rebuild yourself stronger. There are two ways to meet pain, as a cage and as fire. As a cage, you make excuses. You quit. You become a victim. You say, "Why me?" You resent life for challenging you. This is the attitude that keeps people weak. As fire, pain becomes energy, fuel, a catalyst for action. You walk forward because it is difficult. You say, "I will not break, I will become stronger." This is the attitude that shapes warriors. Pain is the forge in which identity is melted down and reshaped. It is the place where fear and weakness burn away, and only the essence remains. So, my friend, do not resent your pain. Do not run from it. Walk into it with awareness. Ask it, "What are you here to teach me?" And when you rise from the fire, you will not be the same. Rule number 7, value silence and observation. Most people waste their strength through constant talking, explaining themselves, defending themselves, trying to impress others. But in my experience, real power does not announce itself. Real power observes. He often reminded me to quiet my mind. Do not simply watch the opponent, he said. Learn to see. There is a great difference. To watch is to look with your eyes. To see is to look with your awareness. Silence is the doorway to awareness. When the mind becomes quiet, everything sharpens. Perception, intuition, timing, understanding. You begin to see not only the movement of others, but their intentions, their fears, their patterns. In silence, you gain an advantage. In talking, you give that advantage away. They would talk endlessly, bragging, boasting, explaining their achievements, and I would simply listen. Within a few minutes, their words revealed their insecurities, their desires, their motivations. Silence is not empty. Silence is information. My friend, you do not need to prove yourself with many words. A single sentence spoken from a grounded mind carries more weight than 1,000 spoken from insecurity. Silence is not weakness. Silence is not submissive. Silence is choosing not to waste energy. Speaks only when necessary. Listens more than he talks. Observes before he acts. Think of water. When it is still, it reflects with perfect clarity. But when it is agitated, the reflection becomes distorted. The mind is the same. In stillness, you see the truth. In noise, everything becomes blurred. This is why I spend time in quiet reflection. Stillness allows me to return to my center. Let me tell you something important. The quiet mind sees what the noisy mind misses. When you enter a room, observe before you speak. When you face a challenge, breathe before you act. When you feel emotion rising, sit in silence before you respond. Observation gives you control. Silence gives you strategy. Stillness gives you power. Most people fear silence because in silence they meet themselves. But if you can learn to sit with yourself without distraction, without noise, you will discover a deeper strength than anything found in physical training. The world teaches you to be loud. I teach you to be aware. The world teaches you to react. I teach you to observe. The world teaches you to fill every moment with talk. I teach you to listen to the space between moments. It is about seeing with clarity. Rule number 8. Be like water, adapt or break. In the challenges of everyday living, I discovered something. The rigid mind breaks, but the flexible mind endures. Water has no shape, yet it fits every shape. Water is soft, yet it can cut through rock. Water yields, but it never surrenders. Water adapts, but it never loses its nature. Many people expected me to stay within a certain box, do not challenge the old ways. But I saw truth clearly. Any system that refuses to adapt becomes a fossil. If you cling to one identity, one method, one belief, one routine, the moment life changes, you crumble. Adaptation is not weakness. It is intelligent strength. People misunderstand adaptation. They think it means to surrender or lose oneself. No, water never loses itself. When water enters a teapot, it becomes the teapot, yet it remains water. When it hits an obstacle, it does not resist like a stubborn rock. It flows around, over, or through. Life will not always go as you planned. People will not behave as you expect. Situations will shift. Opportunities will change. Your own path will twist and turn. If you remain rigid, you will break under pressure. But if you remain like water, you will bend without losing your center. But if you adapt, if you flow, you become untouchable. Using no way as way, having no limitation as limitation. Adapt in your work, adapt in your relationships, adapt in your learning, adapt in your dreams. The world changes, my friend, and those who refuse to change with it become trapped in their own stubbornness. Pride is the enemy of adaptation. Humility is the gateway to growth. Be willing to learn. Be willing to adjust. Be willing to see things differently. When you meet resistance in life, do not force yourself against it until you shatter. Become like water, patient, flowing, persistent. Water always finds a path. And remember this, when you adapt, you do not become less of yourself. You become more capable of expressing your true nature. That is the power of water. That is the power within you. Rule number 9. Excuses are poison. They are comfortable, they are convincing, they are soothing, but they are deadly to growth. Every time you say, I'm too tired, I don't have time, I'll start tomorrow, I wasn't born with talent, someone else is luckier, you place another chain around your own mind. And the tragedy is this, the chains are not put there by life, they are put there by you. Excuses protect your ego, but they destroy your potential. One excuse becomes 2. 2 become 10. And soon the person is trapped, blaming circumstances for a cage they built themselves. Let me share something with you. I had every excuse available. My body was tired, the pressures were heavy, the rejections were many. There were days when fear whispered loudly and doubt stood at my door. But excuses never entered my home. Not because I was superhuman, but because I understood the cost. Excuses steal your power. Excuses weaken your identity. Excuses trick you into believing you are smaller than you truly are. Many people misuse time as an excuse. They say, I don't have time. But time is not the issue. Priority is. If something truly matters, you will find minutes. If it does not matter, you will find excuses. Others say, I'm not naturally talented. My friend, talent is a seed, discipline is the sunlight, work is the water. Without those, even the best seed dies. Some say, I'm afraid. Fear is not a reason to stop. Fear is a signal to start. The truth is simple. You will never become strong if you keep negotiating with your own weakness. When the mind hears you say, I can't, it believes you. When the mind hears you say, I will, even when uncertain, it strengthens. Your language shapes your identity. Replace I can't with I will learn. I don't have time with I will make time. I'm not ready with I will start and grow along the way. I'm afraid with I will move forward anyway. Do not give it air. Do not let it take root. Excuses are not external enemies. Excuses come from the part of you that wants comfort, safety, predictability. But that part of you is not the warrior. That part of you is the prisoner. Which one you feed becomes who you are. If you want freedom, destroy your excuses with action. If you want strength, refuse to negotiate with weakness. If you want transformation, stop telling stories that justify stagnation. You reclaim your power. Rule number 10, walk toward fear. My friend, if there is one rule that separates the strong from the weak, it is this: walk toward fear. People believe that courage means the absence of fear, but that is not true. If you feel no fear, you are not courageous. You are unaware. Courage appears when fear is present, and you move anyway. I felt fear, not fear of failure, but fear of stagnation. Fear of becoming trapped inside other people's limitations. Fear of living a life smaller than the one inside my heart. Fear, my friend, is not a wall. Fear is a mirror. It shows you exactly where you must grow. Most people run from fear, thinking they escape it. But every time you run, fear grows stronger. Every time you avoid the difficult conversation, the new opportunity, the unknown path, fear grows teeth. It becomes your master. But when you step toward fear, even with trembling legs, even with uncertainty, something miraculous happens. Fear shrinks. Fear feeds on avoidance. Fear starves when confronted. When you face fear, you discover that it was never as large as your imagination made it. The mind exaggerates. The mind dramatizes. The mind creates shadows bigger than the object that casts them. But instead of shrinking, I embraced it. I walked toward the challenge. And in doing so, I discovered a deeper truth. Your potential lives on the other side of fear. You must learn to use fear as a compass. If something scares you, look closely. It often matters. If something intimidates you, examine it. It often contains your growth. Fear is not here to stop you. Fear is here to guide you. So the next time fear whispers, not yet, you answer, no, now. Because the warrior does not wait for perfect conditions. The warrior steps forward and creates them. Rule number 11, protect your focus from opinions and walk your own path. If you allow the world to dictate your direction, you will never discover your own path. If you allow critics to define your limits, you will never know your true strength. My friend, people will always talk. They will judge, doubt, gossip, misunderstand, criticize, not because they know you, but because they do not know themselves. Breaking tradition, dishonoring the old masters, but they did not see what I saw. That tradition must evolve or it becomes a cage. Opinions are like shadows. They follow you, but they are not part of you. Do not waste your life trying to explain yourself to people who are committed to misunderstanding you. Do not shrink your dreams to fit the expectations of others. Do not seek approval from those who fear their own potential. Many times, even people close to you will doubt your path. That is not their fault. They can only see life through the lens of their own limitations. It is not their job to believe in you. Belief is your job. Protect your focus the way a warrior protects his stance, with attention, with intention, with strength. Because whatever you focus on becomes your direction, and whatever becomes your direction becomes your destiny. You are not here to impress others. You are here to express yourself fully. You are not here to win applause. You are here to walk the path only you can walk. Let silence answer critics. Let action answer doubters. Let results speak your truth. A focused mind is a powerful mind. A distracted mind is a defeated mind. Choose your focus wisely and protect it fiercely. Life is not asking you to be perfect. Life is asking you to be awake. Awake to your habits, awake to your reactions, awake to the way you shape your own destiny each day. The world will test you, challenge you, push you, and sometimes it will break your heart. But if your mind is trained, if your spirit is steady, you will rise again and again, stronger each time. Do not look at these rules as commandments carved in stone. Look at them as tools, instruments for self-discovery, doorways to your highest potential. Use them, refine them, adapt them, make them your own. Because the true purpose of this path is not to imitate me, but to discover yourself. Whatever you face in the days ahead, doubt, fear, pain, resistance, remember that you are not powerless. You carry within you the greatest weapon a human being can possess, a mind that refuses to collapse. So step forward, walk your path with intention, stay loyal to your growth, and when challenges appear, do not shrink. Meet them with presence, with discipline, with courage.